Hello everyone, today I'm in Civitavecchia, Italy, which is a small port city located about 50 miles from Rome, and it's also a popular cruise port destination. And just this afternoon there are at least 2 to 3 cruise ships here in port. And if you are coming to Civitavecchia to catch a cruise, one of the first buildings that you will probably see is this large fort, and this is the Civitavecchia fort, which was built during the 16th century to prevent pirate attacks, which had been prevalent up until that time. The fort was designed by world-famous artist Michelangelo, and even the Catholic Church not only commissioned the construction of the building, but Pope Julius II also blessed and laid the first stone for the fort. And thankfully there are no more pirate attacks here today, and once in town, tourists are welcomed by both a wide variety of shopping and restaurants as well. This is a side view of Fort Civitavecchia, and it is a fairly large building, so at one time they must have had quite a problem with pirates. However, in modern times they have different ways of dealing with the robbers of the high seas, and in port this afternoon is what looks to be an Italian flagged battleship. So thankfully there are no more pirate problems here on the coast of Italy. And if you're looking for public transit to downtown Rome from Civitavecchia, this is a pretty good option. I'm at the Civitavecchia train station, and they have trains that go to downtown Rome, and they leave from here about once every hour. And the trip to downtown Rome takes about maybe a little bit over an hour, about an hour and a quarter. And a one-way ticket is about $4 US. And then they also have a cruise port bus which leaves from this station, and it will take you to the cruise port, which really isn't that far away. And you can even see a couple of the cruise ships that are docked at the port. It's maybe about a half a mile, and it's actually a fairly easy walk because they do have sidewalks, though if you do have a suitcase, maybe it's a little bit more work. And I'm now inside of the train station, and they have these self-service machines which are fairly easy to use, and you can even choose your own language, such as English.
Beware of pickpockets. In case of need, ask only Trenitalia staff for more information.
And it'll even tell you to beware of pickpockets, and you just go to buy your ticket and tell it where you want to go. Here, the Roma Termini, which is downtown Rome, one way. And it should give you the price with the time options, and here says one is leaving in about half an hour at 12:55, and just click on the ticket you want, and it will take you to a purchase screen where you would just then click purchase and enter your credit card into the machine, and it'll print you out a ticket, and that's pretty much all there is to it. This is the Mercure Hotel in Civitavecchia, which is located about 1 mile outside of the city, and there are public transit options to get to this hotel, such as a public bus, or you could even walk the 1 mile. It's actually a somewhat pleasant of a walk, except there is one part of the road that does not have a sidewalk, and that is a bridge just a couple blocks away. But anyhow, let's go inside and check out the Mercure Hotel. And this is my room at the Mercure Hotel. And I should start out by saying that I don't consider myself to be a very picky hotel consumer. When traveling, I'm just in general looking for a basic hotel room. And though this is pretty basic, it does have just one queen size bed, though it's really just 2 twin beds pushed together, and even stuff like that doesn't bother me. But what does bother me is the room has a rather strong smell of mold, and I'm guessing that at some point this room and or even this building flooded out, and it just wasn't fixed right. And even on some of the walls down below, they're discolored, and that could be a indication of mold. But just the strong moldy smell, it's really hard to ignore that. And then there's a few other smaller problems, such as in the bathroom. It just has half of a shower door, and every time I take a shower, the floor gets a little bit flooded out, and they just give you one big towel and then like two small ones, and just keeping the floor dry. I pretty much go through all their towels, and I'm just one person traveling, and that probably also contributes to the mold problem. And then a few other smaller things, such as my first night here, there was only one flat sheet on the bed, and the comforter was inside of this moldy, smelly closet, and I didn't find that out until the second day. And though that is more of an inconvenience, I just didn't really sleep well the first night here. And then there are good things that I do like about this hotel, such as its location, and it has a very nice view of the harbor and oceanfront, and it's a pretty nice day out. Though overall, I probably would not stay here again just because of the problems I mentioned, and it's not really a cheap hotel. The current nightly rate is $107 per night, which for this area, maybe that is cheap because you're right on the ocean. But in general, if I could find a nicer hotel, I probably would stay somewhere else. Hotel options while in Civitavecchia. Though I would not recommend the hotel I stayed at, which is the Mercure Hotel, that is located about 1 mile from the downtown area that I'm in right now. The hotel across the street seems like it might be a possibility, and that is the Hotel de la Ville, which online is listed as a 4-star hotel, and the current nightly rate is about 230 euros, which is about 250 US dollars. Though even for those prices, there are some complaints on this hotel, and some of them are rather telling. One reviewer writes, "Absolutely below expectations for a 4-star. Unkept rooms, broken TV, bathroom in need of maintenance, dilapidated common areas. Only the hall at the entrance saves you, which gives you the illusion of having arrived at a 4-star hotel, but the reality of the rooms is quite different. Breakfast is also poor in quality." So that just kind of goes to show you that even in the $200 to $300 price range, you could still have some wrinkles to deal with. And if you need to do some grocery shopping while in town, they do have a Pam grocery store located about a block from the main boardwalk area. And though I have not heard of the Pam franchise outside of Italy, it is a pretty nice grocery store, and it has pretty much everything that most other grocery stores have. And then across the street, they have this rather nice Catholic church. This is the Francisco de Assisi Cathedral, and the sign says that it was established in the year 1787, which would make it over 200 years old. And just behind the fort is the start of the business district, where they have a lot of shopping and restaurants. Though because of the breezy conditions this afternoon, I really won't be able to go on much of a tour. Though from here I can point out that the first restaurant on this corner is a McDonald's, and surprisingly the McDonald's does seem to be pretty busy inside.